Hey folks, and welcome. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, then thank you and welcome back. If you just stumble across the video today, stumbled across the channel, you're also very welcome. Um, my name is Andy. What I do here on my YouTube channel is I cover songs in the genres of pop, rock, country, and worship. Those videos are, well, for the last few months anyway, have been entitled Tune for Tuesday, as I upload on a Tuesday, apart from this week. The video was uploaded on Wednesday. Technical difficulties on Tuesday there. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been doing that for 6 years, but more consistently and more regularly in the last year. Um, Before I go into the reason for today's video, I just wanted to thank my friends James, Gordon, and Eden, who, if you saw yesterday's short video entitled Major Announcement, are going to be helping me to film and edit. Gordon, in particular, is going to help me to edit. We're going to do the edit of my first on location video. I'll be covering the Mercy Me song called I Can Only Imagine. They're a worship band that I really like. So I'm going to be doing that in a few weeks. Um, so yeah. So my taste in music is varied. I love it. I love any kind of music as long as it's not dance. But we'll get into that. Um, so my earliest, so I grew up in a family with three brothers and sister, and I was adopted um, into that family. And my mum and dad really love music, and they have had similar tastes, but a few variations. Um, Both love country, but my dad is also a fan of Al Jolson, and I've developed a little bit of taste for him. Swanee is one of my favorite songs. It's just a really fun song to listen to. Um, I think, well, I know for a fact that my earliest taste in, or my earliest memory of music is as a 5 year old. I went to a school for children with disabilities, and the school had a primary department and a secondary department in the one school. That's elementary, junior high, and high school for my American viewers. Welcome. Um, and there was a girl in the higher end of the school who seemed to realize from early on that I was susceptible to loud noises, and I would kind of freak out at how busy the school bus would get. So she had a little cassette tape player. Cassette tapes are well out of fashion now. If you don't know what they are, if you're a younger viewer, you're welcome. But go and see your nearest responsible adult, and I'm sure they'll educate you on what a cassette tape is. So as well as having the cassette tape player, my friend would have a set of headphones, and they were the big ones in those days. So you kind of had to stretch them a little bit so that we could both hear the music at the same time. And she had a couple of good cassettes, but the artist I remember most, and the artist that is my favorite artist to this day, is Michael Jackson. Um, I love the Jackson Five, and the Jacksons, which the band were later known as when Jermaine left. But and then I also love off the wall album that Michael did as his first solo, and then the Thriller album, of course, was so groundbreaking. But the era of Michael's music that I love the most is the early '90s stuff. The albums, I can't remember the name of the albums, but my favorite songs are "You're Not Alone," "Human Nature," Earth Song, "Black or White," and my favorite song of all time, which is "Man in the Mirror." I just when every time I hear that song, it just kind of keeps me grounded a little bit. Um, I know that when we talk about Michael Jackson, we have to acknowledge the accusations against him, which I acknowledge. I'm not going to sit here and say that certain things didn't happen, but it's not something that we're going to talk about today. That's not what this video is about. Um, so as I say, I was adopted at an early age and grew up with four siblings, three brothers and a sister. My third oldest brother and I, there's a small age gap there, and he loves dance music, and as a result, I hate it. I know hate's a strong word, but yeah, I hate dance music, and I apologize if that's your thing. It's not mine. So I was about 11, 12 years old when I got my own room, and my second oldest brother, who really kicked off my love for music, thanks to him, um, he moved out, and so I got his room, and I I went and bought everything that wasn't dance music, man. Some particularly ropey choices. A few of them were not bad. What you would call guilty pleasures. But as I say, my brother, my second oldest brother, he really helped me discover genres of music that I had never heard before, particularly rock music. He loves Oasis. Um, their song Wonderwall actually is a song that I covered a few months ago on the channel. Um, and it's the first song I learned to sing in school, word for word. Um, he also loves he also loves Creed, uh, their song Higher from the album Human Clay, the song I covered this week. Um, Weathered is also a great album of Creed's. I love the title song from that, Weathered. I also love With Arms Wide Open and My Sacrifice. It's probably the first song I really latched onto from Creed. Scott Stapp himself he released a solo album called The Great Divide many years after Creed split up for the first time, uh, which is a great album. I encourage you to go and check that out. He did two versions of a song called Broken, but the first version is one I relate to the most. His book is also really good. It's called A Sinner's Creed. It was bought for me for my birthday. Uh 10 years ago, I think. 10 years ago, by a friend of mine. And it's a great read. I strongly encourage you to go and check that out. As I say, that my biological dad and we both love music. So one of the things that really bonds us together. And the one band that we love the most is Nirvana, and Outro, and Nevermind are two particular albums that I really like. Obviously, I love the song "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Who doesn't? And but my favorite Nirvana song is "Heart Shaped Box." I think that Kurt's voice in that album, or in that song, sorry, just the pain in his voice and the realness is something that I clung on to at an early age. Um, I'll tell you one album I really do love is I'm not a Spice Girls fan by any stretch of the imagination, but Mel C did a solo album, her solo album after the Spice Girls split up, and it's fantastic. There's one dance track on there. We'll skip over that, but her solo album is amazing. I may actually go and check that out again. Actually, um, so yeah, but as I say, I love many genres of music. thanks to the people in my life and my own research of different genres. I love heavy metal music. We lost a great British empire of the heavy metal scene this week in Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace. My thoughts are with his friends and his family at this sad time. Um, I do. I love Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Metallica. Probably more Sabbath and Maiden actually. I actually went. I got to see Paul Diano, who was the lead singer of Iron Maiden before Bruce Dickinson came along. I got to see him a couple of years ago, but we'll talk about concerts later. Um, yeah, I love grime music. Stormzy is one of my favorite artists in that genre, and one of my favorite artists of all time. Um, his his mid 2000 stuff's really good. The 3 albums that he did. Um, my one of my main music memories is of him headlining Glastonbury a number of years ago, and to hear him do "Blinded by Your Grace" Part Two, which I regard as a worship song, uh, 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 on the pyramid stage at Glastonbury was just it was one of those moments that was like pinch me, where were you moments, and it was great to see that, see him doing that. Um, Concerts, I've been honored to attend a many great concert in my life. First of which was Feeder at the Corn Exchange in Edinburgh or Motherwell. It was a really good night. Support act was Biffy Clyro, uh, a band that later on I've kind of got an appreciation for. One of their song Machines, the song I've actually done in the channel. If you want to go and check that out. Um, my second concert was Ash, an Irish rock band. I was a fan of the later Britpop type things like Feeder and Ash, and I think an athlete who I saw at T in the Park 21 years ago. I think when you grow up in Britain, in particular in Scotland, in my generation and 2 or 3 generations before me, and maybe one after me, I think T in the Park is a rite of passage for music lovers. Um, as I say, 21 years ago, I was lucky enough to go for a 1 day pass. Unfortunately, I missed James Brown, which would have been great to see. But I got to see Athlete, uh, and to hear them do their song Wires, um, which for personal reasons is a song that's close to my heart. To hear them do that live was a very moving and special moment for me. I went to Tina Park with my biological dad, and it was a great day. We saw, as I say, we saw Athlete, we saw Embrace, and we saw Echo and the Bunnymen, which is a band that my dad loves. They were good. I never heard them before. They played in one of the tents at Tina Park that weekend, and they were good. Um, Unfortunately, we missed Snoop Dogg. I think I wanted to go and see someone else. I can't remember why we missed that. But the main reason that I wanted to go to Tina Park and the Saturday night, Sunday night, was because Green Day were closing Tina Park that year, and they were right in the middle of their American Idiot album tour, and the pageantry and Billy Joel Armstrong's showmanship is just amazing to see live. I think he's a great singer and he's a great artist. He's a great musician, but his showmanship and pageantry were just it was a real special moment to see live. I've mentioned some albums that I like. I have that have had a major impact on my life, but some more albums that I love are My Chemical Romance. Their Welcome to the Black Parade album. A friend of mine went to the same school as me. He used to stay around the corner from where I live, and he would come to my house 10 or 15 minutes after dropping his school bags in, and I'd be sitting in the kitchen because I don't know why the hype. Anyway, it's probably because we played the album up so loud. We sat in the kitchen and played the Welcome to the Black Parade album really loudly, um, back to back. Of course, Welcome to the Black Parade is a great song. Uh, and oh my goodness, there's another song. So many good songs in that album. One of which I have covered. It's a My Chemical Romance song. I can't remember where it was, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it if you look in the channel. Um, in fact, Helena is a great song as well. It's on one of their other albums that I really love. It's probably my favorite music video of all time, next to the Air Song video by Michael Jackson. When I came back to faith, um, or before I came back to faith, as I say, I'm a massive heavy metal fan. And before I came back to faith, I was a Slipknot fan, but I felt like God was saying that these guys are kind of this group is kind of holding you back a little bit from your faith walk, and so I felt him saying to me to drop them. Well, I still greatly appreciate their contribution to heavy metal and Corey Taylor in particular's contribution to music. I felt like God was telling me to drop them, and so I did. And God was like, "You can still like heavy metal. It's fine." Uh, Contrary to what all of Christians will tell you. He's like, "There's Christian heavy metal out there. Go and discover what you can discover," and I did. And I found two bands that to this day I love. I'm a little bit injured at the moment. Got a shoulder injury. I don't know what's going on. But I love to. Before that, I work out. I love to work out, and the two bands that I love to work out to are Christian heavy metal bands by the names of Forte and Fit for a King. And they're two bands that I love in the Christian heavy metal scene. The worship music. I feel like listening to worship music gets me ready for the day on a Sunday when I go to church. My favorite artists and bands in that genre are Chris Tomlin. His song "Indescribable" is the first song that I really latched onto when I come back to faith, as well as God telling me that Slipknot was not a thing I should be doing anymore. I felt like I feel like He gives me songs where worship and secular, believe it or not, that I need to hear at a particular time in my life. And I felt like that's what He did when He introduced the song "Indescribable" to me. It's a beautiful song with beautiful lyrics in it. Um, I also love Colton Dixon. His earlier two albums are, in particular, major favourites of mine. Never Gone is one of his songs that I have covered on the channel. Um, I love Casting Crowns. I Courageous is a great song. It's a real get up and go type song. I also love Thrive, and I love their song East to West, which is on the channel. Um, Evolution Worship, Hillsong, despite the controversies surrounding that. I love what they do. Um, I also love Christian rap music. He's not doing his thing anymore, sadly, but I love a Glasgow rapper by the name of MP3. Um, his stuff's really good. And there's another guy, British guy, I think he's from Birmingham, called Panache. I think he's finished as well. But his song "Look Around" is a song that I love. Uh, it's probably the first Christian rap song that I ever discovered, and every time I hear it, I'm just like, what a song to be able to rap like that and something I would love to do. Um, so yeah, that's my little story of why I love music so much. I feel it's music's a major part of my life, and it has been from an early age, as I say, and it continues to be. I have dreamed of getting back into songwriting. A song that is on the YouTube channel is by Dot. It's a Christian version of the song Daughtry that my friend Robert and I wrote before he passed. I urge you to go and check that out. Um, but yeah, things are getting a little bit exciting with the on location video that I'm doing, and I may have another idea in my head that I'm trying to work out um, how to do. But yeah, let's build a real community on this channel. I love music, and I want to and encourage other people who love music to reach out and stick in the comment section down below suggestions for songs that they want me to do. But also tell me your story. Tell me why you love music. Maybe I've introduced you to some new artists today, and maybe you could do the same for me, which I would greatly appreciate. So, 23 seconds in, or 23 minutes in, I should say. Thanks for listening. GBY, which is God bless you. I'll catch you on the next one. Ta